let's just sit in our meditation posture. Start by focusing on the breath. And then just notice any sounds that you're hearing. So hearing the sound, just the raw data of the sound, that's your ear consciousness, hearing that sound. It's a non-conceptual consciousness. And notice how our minds then quickly jump to labeling that sound, identifying that sound. Oh, like here, I just heard the sound of a siren, right? So labeling that sound, identifying that sound, re-identifying that as being an unpleasant sound or an annoying sound or a pleasant sound. So identifying it, labeling it, judging it, those are all your conceptual consciousness. So just notice for a few moments the various sounds that arise, and see if you can notice when you have a non-conceptual ear consciousness and when you have a conceptual consciousness. So notice how the conceptual consciousness made that data, that sound, into a thing, like a singular thing, like dog barking or siren or a word or phrase. And notice how we've added on to just the data. We've added thingness, we've added attractiveness or pleasantness or unpleasantness, or we've added a label. And that conceptual consciousness is now apprehending an image in our mind, a mental image. apprehending the actual object, but we're apprehending like a mixture between the object and the image in our mind. And if our eyes are closed, we can open them and look at the colors and shapes in front of you. So when you're just perceiving the colors and shapes, it's an eye consciousness. And then probably very quickly, our conceptual consciousness jumps in and identifies those colors and shapes, labels those colors and shapes. Adds attractiveness, non-attractiveness, and may add additional stories on top of that. So see if you can go back and forth, seeing just the colors and shapes, and then allowing the conceptual consciousness to kick in and interpret that data. And it may be hard to just stay with the non-conceptual eye consciousness without adding, without the conceptual consciousness kicking in and labeling, because we're so habituated to jumping in with labels. But just notice, no judgment, just noticing what our mind does. So our conceptual consciousness is taking that data and creating things, concrete objects and separate objects. And our conceptual consciousness, our thought, is looking at an image of the colors and shapes that we saw. Looking at an image in our minds, a mental image. Right, and if we close our eyes, we can still see that image in our mind. We can imagine that image. And even when our eyes are open, our conceptual consciousness is seeing the image in our mind